when we start the program, don't single.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to put you on camera because you are the one who doesn't like camera.
No, it's because I have to shave. I have to do something like my. I'm not.
Yes, but not now.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello, Shagun. How are you? Good evening. How you doing? Pastor Nikki, how are you? Mofelola, good evening. Good evening, guys. As you're coming in, please start to share. Julie, welcome back home.
She's already back.
Yes. Hello, Evan. How are you?
Tell her she's crying inside.
Yeah, she is. She's already texted me to say she wants to come back right now. Hello, Dee. Ezinwe, hello, Mecca. Good evening. Good evening, Lee, Elizabeth. Good evening. Hello, Anastasia. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. As you're coming in, invite your friends and also share, please. I've added please to it. So share, guys. Good evening, everyone. Rochelle White, how are you this evening? Hello. Judith, Craig, Jane, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please start to share as you're coming in and invite your friends. Don't just share. And also you can copy the link to people. So if they're not on Facebook or they are not on your friends list, that's what I mean, then copy the link and send it with your WhatsApp or your Messenger or text. Just invite as many people as possible. You've seen the title and you know it's going to be productive because it's about your life and product. What is your life producing? Question mark. Okay, guys, let's go. I'm going to turn the camera around for you to say hello to the people in the house. They're eagerly awaiting to start this evening. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ade, Shitu. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you for the thumbs up and the love. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around now. Hello, you're first, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. You should go this way. Hi.
Good evening, everybody.
I need to get up and do this. Portia. Tell me. Say hello.
Oh, what's up?
So, okay, everyone. Hello, Raulette. How are you? He's saying hello, sir, and everyone. So let me just go and check who's saying what and read that out. Hello, Davida. Good evening. Good evening, Ope Sinola. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that name properly. It's a proper Nigerian name. Ape Sinola. Okay, Paul, good evening. Edwin, Pastor Edwin, good evening. Solomon, good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Esther, good evening. Good evening. They're saying good evening, Pastor. Okay, guys, let's get started now. So don't forget to share as we're going on as well. So don't just share once. You can share multiple times and you can invite all your friends. Okay? All right, let's go. Kate, good evening. Good evening, everyone. So let's go. Stephen, good evening. Are you ready?
You want me to say something?
Yes, sir.
What do you want me to say? Did you tell them what we're going to be talking about?
Yes, I did.
You
sir.
told them?
Yes. And you can
Okay.
see the title.
Okay. Let's find out how ready they are. Can we find out if the voice is good enough?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Just let me know with thumbs up if you can hear us very well. Okay? Thumbs up, everyone, if you can hear us well. Oh, Queen Anastasia is the first. Thank you. That's thumbs up. Very ready, sir. Gaining financial momentum is saying, good evening, Pastor Sunday. Very ready. Very ready, Pastor Sunday. Oh, lots of thumbs up, so they can hear us very well. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. That's great. Thank you, thank you. We are prepared for you today. So thank you for letting us know that you can hear us. Thank you.
Okay, if you are ready, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a picture ready here for everybody, but
Maybe I should read
I
something
might not.
out.
No, there is a picture here I wanted to present to everybody,
Okay.
but I might need one more minute or so.
Okay, let me read out. Say hello. Ade says, good evening, Pastor Sunday. Davida say, very ready, Pastor Sunday. And Ido says, we're ready, sir. Pastor Nikki said, increase DS's volumes, please.
I was concerned.
So he
about
will
that.
speak. He will speak louder. I don't think it's your volume that needs increasing. It's just
No, it's the mic I need to bring closer.
okay. Let me do something here. Okay, that's been increased. Okay, Pastor Nikki, we've done that. Kate says very ready. Madupe says yes, we're ready. Esther says we can hear you well. Sign Ade says increase pastor's volume. Actually, Flora is saying the same thing. So I think I just need to give it to you.
Yeah, but you are
When
talking
you're
right
ready.
now, yeah. You are talking right now, so.
Okay. So we have Elizabeth. I am ready. Well done, Elizabeth. Let's go. That's our day saying that. Shegun says, hello, DSA family. Increase DSA. Okay. Pastor Ennis says, good evening, family. Ape Sinola. I'll just say Olaoye says, more volume. Ezinwe says, very ready. Well done. Nkechi said, good evening. And Cal says, top of the evening all. So I've only got a few people's comment here that I can read. Keep your comment coming. We'll probably read them later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Pastor Nikki, you're ready.
Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja again, and fellowshipping with you today about the aftermath of the birthday celebration, 50th anniversary. Yesterday we spoke about how to party, and today I'm talking about product. Let's talk about celebration, partying. One of the greatest, not say partying, but celebration. One of the greatest form of celebration, and everybody is already aware of my scales of gratitude. One of my major scale, people talk about my scales of gratitude. I have 11 points on that scale of gratitude. So what's it all about? I'm going to talk about it one day, and I think I spoke about it one time, a little bit, on my live broadcast before, but I will be talking more about it as a separate topic one of these days in future. But right now, why I'm saying thank you to everybody that is that as I want to use the opportunity to say thank you to everybody that has expressed their gratitude, their excitement, their appreciation for the little work I've been able to do over the past 1 year. I want to say thank you to all DSA family members. I want to say thank you to all of you that celebrated me. And yesterday when I was talking about how to party the God's way, how to party kingdom way, that's not to condemn the people who did not party that way. That's just to teach them. That's just to teach all of us, to teach all of you and let you know that there are better ways to do things. So I don't expect some people to get mad at me or get mad at DSA family and leave altogether our platform just because I corrected them. I think if we don't make mistakes, we would never get a chance to be corrected. So I think making mistakes is a good chance for us. That's why there is a blessing in mistakes and in failures. So there are really no failures. There are just opportunities to learn. So those people who celebrated the way they knew to celebrate, kudos to you, because at least you did something. And I want to appreciate you. Like I said, I don't know any other group of people in the world that would have produced the kind of result that you people produced by celebrating DSA. So I want to just appreciate you for that and thank you a whole lot. But I want to raise the bar a little bit. I want to talk more about what appreciation and celebration really means to me. Since I said that we're a kingdom people, and as a kingdom people, the DSC family, we are blazing a trail. We are blazing another trail. We are setting a record on the earth on how things should be done. So I am thinking that I should actually truly reveal to you how things should be done and how to take things higher. What I showed to you yesterday was the example from Lagos, which is brilliant. And if you want to learn about that, you can go to yesterday's live program at the evening, or you could go to Lagos. 2 videos. I saw the second part of the video today. It was brilliant, wonderful. So that's one day to celebrate. That's one way to celebrate. And but let me tell you about other ways to celebrate for me. And I think my way of celebration and the thing that I want to talk to you about should also set a standard for all of you and give you an example of how kingdom celebration is supposed to look like. First of all, for us to be able to celebrate the kingdom way in a different way, we must, first of all, clear our mind from what we knew and from how we used to do things. So we already established how the world does things. When it comes to celebration, it's fun, it's music, it's excitement, pleasure. But we already told you what we needed, what Christian celebration means: kingdom focus, value systems, God focus. But today I want to talk about another thing altogether. So it's 1 year since I started doing live broadcast. So doing live broadcast for 1 year, how do I personally assess my effectiveness? How do I assess my work? And how do I expect you to assess your work? Principal just what it is now. So how do I expect you to assess your work and celebrate your success? How do we celebrate our success? How do I celebrate my own success and milestones? And how do I expect you to celebrate and which I think is more kingdom way of celebrating. So after 1 year, which was not totally 1 year, but because we had a break, but let's say I have 1 year of celebration. This is the magazine here. This magazine here shows us, of course, about the result we've had over this 1 year. The first result we want to show you is this. Can you see the name, the countries? Can you see the number?
Yes.
How many? Do I need to bring closer?
Up a bit to the. Yeah,
How many countries?
109.
109.
Yes.
Can you see it from the 1?
Yes. No, I can see from 7.
Okay.
Now I can see from 1
Okay.
to 109. Yes.
Everybody else can see that then. Everybody can see that we have how many countries have been following us on live broadcast. So that's from 1 to 109 countries.
Yeah.
So 109 countries are the countries that I can remember that have been following us that we could trace. It's possible that we left out one country or the other, but 109 countries in 1 year, not bad results. But that's on one hand. But for me, that's still not a result, right? That's just statistics. And of course, some people will be happy to see their pictures here.
They're asking if they can have. How can they get the magazine?
Oh, how can you get the magazine? You have to come to Ukraine because it's physical. Unless you have somebody who is based in Ukraine, you cannot get the magazine. Another thing with the magazine is that if you were here for the celebration and you got the early copies, and the copies were done hurriedly, and they are not firm enough. Okay, they are just, if you do like this too much, it could split. So, but this one is different. This one is being sewn with thread strong. Binding is better here, but it's sewn with thread. So, as a result of that, you can do anything you want with it. It will never fall apart. But the ones who bought it, if you bought this at my celebration, it's costing $40. The production is $75, but we are selling it for $40. So if you bought it and it is the first one, the ones you bought, we are giving everybody the opportunity to exchange it for another one. Even though I've signed that one for you, I can still sign it for you, or you could still keep it. But what we want to do, why we wanted to exchange it is that the bad one, we'll just give them out for free to other people, and we'll give you the bind one. So anybody, if you are in Ukraine or you know anybody coming to Ukraine, you could get a copy of this. If another copy of this, if you could bring, the only way to prove to us that you bought one is to produce the one you bought. So you can exchange that for another one. That's on one hand. But if you want to get a copy and you don't have a copy, you want to get a copy, you can still get a copy, but you have to get somebody to come to Ukraine to get it for you. So, DSA family, where are we here? Let me see us again. I didn't look at the number. That's a mistake. Got a lot of pages here, about 400 pages.
The chairman says she wants the magazine in Nigeria.
Yeah, we've got to get somebody coming from here to Nigeria or somehow. So this is the DSA family page. Can they say it?
Yeah.
DSA family page. Okay. This is another DSA family page. Some people might be able to recognize themselves. Okay. So we have 109 countries. What does that mean in practical terms? So these are the 31 series that we've done. You look into the... Okay. So those are the 31 series. But here is important. Here is important. Can you see this? Can they read it?
I can read it. It says, in 8 months, Dr. Sunday Adelaja preached 760 hours, 45,000 minutes, or 15 years of Sunday sermon with a reach of 221...
I'm sure they cannot hear you because I have the mic.
221 million.
Yeah, so what it says here is that in 8 months, so how do I assess myself, right? In 1 year. Is in 8 months, Dr. Sunday Adelaja preached 760 hours, which is 45,000 minutes, or in years, 15 years of Sunday sermons with a reach of 221 million, like 250 million people. So that's not bad. And then the statistic from Facebook is here. This is the official Facebook report here. Can you see?
Yes, I can see
Circle
it.
there, right? Mm-hmm. So that is like the assessment, the result, right? But still, that is not a result to me as such. So how am I measuring my result? And how should you measure your result? What should you be celebrating? The best measurement of result and the best argument for celebration, the best reason for celebration is always products, tangible products, or physical products. So that's what I want to talk about today. If you say, let's say Mrs. Hello, I'm talking to someone. Let's say Mrs. Shorunke has been following me for the past 1 year. For me, she's not a bona fide. Is it been a bona fide, you said? Bona fide or bona fide? Bona fide. For me, she's not a bona fide follower or disciple of Pastor Sunday, just like I do here in Kiev. You are not a bona fide disciple of Pastor Sunday if you don't have a product. If your life is not producing something. Does that disappoint you?
Yeah.
It could, but I'm not to blame for that. If that disappoints you, I'm not to blame for that. You should be producing products. When I see the artwork of T.O., that's a product. When I see his music, that is a product. But I'm talking about products now that come as a result of that 1 year you have spent. That 1 year that you have spent listening to Pastor Sunday, what product has you produced as a result of the investment of 1 year of your life? So if you have invested 1 year of your life to learn something, to listen to something, you must have a product. I think that's just logical. Okay, we can open the door there. Yes. I think that's just logical. So the question is, I want all of us to do a soul session. No, from the top. You know the way to do it? Mm-hmm. No, the opposite, yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So, I want us to do a soul session. When you say that I got to touch Pastor Sunday live broadcast last year, and I on day and night, that is process. That is process. Process is important, but the purpose of process is results or product. So even though many of us, we talk about, I come on day and night, I was following Pastor Sunday, I come on, now I'm changed. I want to see the product. I want to see the result. So if you say, I come on day and night, that's good, that's commendable. But if I don't see a product, you are still in the process. But you are still not there yet. Like, for example, look at Rochelle White, for example. I think that's a product. Because the last I saw of her articles, it was probably number 20. I think Rochelle White is on number 20 of our articles. I think she's written 20 articles from a series. She's done a series on, what does she call it? Is it Coming to Kyiv? Or Rochelle White writes a regular article.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think she's calling it Coming to Kyiv or My Visit to Kyiv. My Visit to Ukraine or something like that. So that which Rochelle White is doing, that is a proof right there that she has a product. Those articles, 20 articles, if she just pulls them together, she got a book. That's a product. That is somebody who has invested 6 months or 1 year of her life listening to Pastor Sunday and or took a trip to Ukraine. And as a result, as a product, 20 articles all over the internet. Put them together, you got a book. That's a product. Made one trip, has one product. High level of efficiency. This is Mrs. Shoronke here. I told you about her result yesterday, or her product. She came to Ukraine, HMT. She had many dreams and many visions in her heart before then, many ideas. She wrote them to me, I know, that's why I know. But she was not doing them. But thanks to this relationship, to the live broadcast that she was participating, her life is no more the same. Let's say she is 40 years old. For 40 years of her life, she had been waiting to give birth to those dreams and visions in her spirit. But since 1 year of listening, she started converting. Conversion process started. And she started bringing out full, concrete results, even though she's like no more going to church, but she's becoming productive for the kingdom. Maybe she's still going to church, but no more as active as she used to be, dedicated, fanatical about church. She's no more fanatical about church, but she's fanatical about God, fanatical about the kingdom, producing more concrete results. And what the product she's producing is very complex, very complex. How could you be on on Skype, organizing library or discussion group, library on Skype with different states, people in different states all over America and all over the world. But she even has other products that she's working on. So talking about products, I'm going to let her say a few words. And that is what she can talk about. So let's talk tangibility. Let's talk tangible. Let's talk gratitude. That is something to be grateful for. That is something to celebrate. A changed life. A result food-filled life. A life that has brought forth result. A life that is making a difference. A life that is bringing laughter and joy to other people. What are the products your encounter with Pastor Sunday is producing? What are the products your 1 year of following, doing, waking up at midnight, early in the morning, all that lifestyle change, did they result in a product? That's what I want to know. And I want to give us a few examples today, not just of people who are here with me, but of some people whose products I am aware of. I want us to talk about that. And I want every one of us that is listening to me right now and that will listen to us later on to know that this is the way kingdom-minded people should think. We are thinking in terms of results. We are thinking in terms of products. We are not thinking in terms of excitement. So when people then see us and see our pictures in that wonderful, what do you call it? Orchard. You know, in that wonderful orchard, there's a forest where we were, orchard. In that wonderful orchard where we were having the celebration, that orchard with beautiful dresses, everybody, beautiful photographs, beautiful videos, dancing, with a pure heart and with a pure conscience. We could look ourselves, our conscience in the eyes, and look our God in the eyes, and know there are bases for that excitement. There are bases for that celebration. There are tangible, concrete, respected, reasonable reasons for celebration. That beautiful orchard, we deserve it. But did everybody deserve it? Let them answer for themselves. Those beautiful celebrations, we deserve it. Did everybody deserve it? Let them answer for themselves. What makes me know that I deserve it? My changed life and the products that my life has started producing thanks to my encounter with this man. Not just the excitement. The excitement must be based on something. So, Mrs. Shorunka, let's start with you. I started telling your story, but nobody can tell your story better than you. So, let's start with you. But I'm not going to stop only on her and people who are here. But I'm going to show you a few products that people from DSC family have started producing. Just thanks to the fact that they, 1 year ago, came across live broadcast.
Thank you very much, Pastor Sunday. I really want to thank you for your teachings. I want to thank you so much for just pulling out of yourself to give to us so that we can know who we are and understand our calling, and just like you said, produce products. Well, there are a couple of products. Me and my husband have been working on 2 major products. I won't get into depth about them. But one of the products that we were working on happened to be in much need in Nigeria. We had started working on this product, but we didn't have the kind of zeal and passion before we met with Pastor Sunday and his teachings. We were sort of dragging our feet on it. We didn't put too much effort. But when we were listening to Pastor Sunday, this passion, this vision that we had became so clear to us. And this project that maybe we had for 4 years or so, my husband just started getting on it. He started organizing. He started calling people from different parts of the world that specialize in certain areas of that project, and they were excited with the vision. They said, we are willing, we want this to happen in Nigeria, and the way this is put together, we are all in for this to go. And we introduced a couple of them to Pastor Sunday by phone. We had them talk with him so they can understand the kind of person that he was. They were absolutely excited. They come on and they listen on the show. And my husband completed this project in record time. I think it took him like 6 weeks compared to about 4 or 5 years just writing it and not really doing anything. But Pastor Sunday's teachings, and you know, my husband listens to his teaching from morning to night. Even in his practice, his patients have to bear with him because he's putting on his iPad, and everybody, the staff, the patients, they're all listening, because that really gave him the motivation to complete the product. And thank God, when we sent it to Pastor Sunday, we know that he was pleased with what he saw. So that's just me and my husband. We had those. But I also, as soon as I came in contact with Pastor Sunday, what really caught me, now I'm going to make a confession. At the presentation, they were doing a presentation on Pastor Sunday's books. And honestly, during the presentation, I was sleeping. But when the presenter said And these books can be used to counsel people. I woke up from my sleep. I'm like, oh, used to counsel people, all these different topics that people need help with. I woke up and I have been awake on that since. So what I did, I found out that in my life, for some reason, people call me about their issues. And when they're talking to me, I'm asking God, what do I give them? You know, I know that there are scriptures, but can I give them something practical? Can I give them a tool? I just couldn't find it. So I would just do the best that I can to help with the issue, to counsel, to give the person peace, confidence, remind them who they are in the Lord, remind them who they are in God. But when I started reading the book, Who Am I? Why Am I Here? It was like the pages of the book just flew out and attached to my heart. And I said to myself, wait a minute. I have a tool. All these people that are calling me, I dedicated myself to that book, and I'm still not done with it. I'm literally eating this book up because I found that that's the core reason for many, many issues in people's life. Is not knowing who they are and not thinking that they're even relevant to anything on the earth. So I'll give you an example of what happened. I prepared myself very well, but I didn't know I was preparing myself for something that was going to happen. So I left Ukraine and headed on to London to my families. And as I was in London, I was going over this book, I was writing up and everything. I just started getting phone calls from DSA family in London, because I did call them to tell them that I was there, and I was just saying I'm here, I just wanted to say hi. But then I began to see that I was actually responding to some needs. And I came across a few people that told me that they have this issue, they're trying to get over this. And, if I want to, me said, oh, I thank you for calling today. I just want to throw this before you and tell you this. So I listened, and the person concluded and said, and I want to call Pastor Sunday and tell him. I said, okay. I said, are you going to be calling him to talk about these different issues you told me? I'm just giving you one example. Oh, she said, yeah. She said this issue, that issue. I said, oh, really? I said, do you have the book, Who Am I? Why Am I Here? Oh, yes. I have the book. I said, oh, great. I said, have you read it? Yeah, I've read it about 2 times. I've gone through the book. I said, great. I said, but you know what? Let us go to page 19. I said, get your book out. Let's go to page 19. Then I said, okay, then let's go page 89. And I started mentioning these pages offhand. And she would read and she would say, I read this book twice, but I don't remember this part. Oh my gosh. And so as we began to go through the different pages here and there, she goes, oh, now I've been looking everywhere here there for the answer of this. I said, why? I said, it's right here. This book, it has what you're looking for all over the place. I said, so now what do you want to ask Pastor Sunday? I said, Pastor Sunday is right here in your book. Everything you want to ask, and the answer is here. So I had those kind of encounters in London. In London, it was amazing. Then I have to tell you this one about my family. So my family was watching me read my book, Who Am I? And all that kind of thing. I didn't know that they put it to heart. But they would come back from work and ask me, oh, did you read your book? Did you read your book today? And I'm like, did you give me an assignment? I mean, they were actually interested in what was in the book. I would literally take the book and read it to them. So many testimonies, I can't even tell you, but there are testimonies from, I used to behave like this. They said, yesterday, I used to behave like this. But when I heard what Pastor Sunday said from his book, or I listened to him, now I feel different. I don't want to do those things anymore. I'm over with that. I was just hearing these kinds of testimonies of, wow, I always had this feeling about my status as a Christian, and now, wow, I've just found out that there's more to this Christian life. That is what I was hearing while I was in London. So I found out that my skills of counseling, advising, showing the light became stronger as I read and I digested the book. Now, the other thing is the book club. The book club started because somebody said to me.
So you started a book club?
Yes.
Tell them about the hour. Through books or what?
Yes, we do it by phone, conference call. I do a few one-on-one, but conference call is the best way to do it. But the book club came about immediately because I was still planning. Remember, that was one of the things I sent you. I was still preparing for the book club. But it came because I was talking to somebody that knows me for a long time. And she just stopped me. She said, wait a minute. She said, something's different about you. What's going on? So what's going on? I said, well, I've been going to see Pastor Sunday. I've been reading his books. I've been listening to the tapes. She said, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm actually taking a mentorship program with him right now. I'm doing my studies and this and that. So she said to me, oh my gosh, she says, you know what? I want to be your first student. When you finish, I want to sign on and be your first student when you're done and everything. So we were talking, and then I thought to myself, what are we waiting for? I told her, I said, what are we waiting for? Let's do it right now. Let's do this teaching right now.
You see, life is not about excitement. Life is about results. She could all come back and get excited. I'm listening to Pastor Sunday. I read the book. Many people say, I've read the book twice. Excited. But do you produce the result? So, she does say, I'm listening to Pastor Sunday, but they saw the result, but I want to be your first student. That's the result. So, but she's going to produce even more tangible results, more product out of that. A whole product, book club.
So this lady, right away, I had to plan this book club. I called up a few people that were interested. Schedules are a little bit different, so sometimes we do it one-on-one, but the result that I got from the book club is that just even the first few pages of the book, there was practical. I remember there was one time there was practical silence. And I heard somebody say, oh no, you mean that I've been wasting my time and my life? And then there was another person that said, wow, I used to think that my life was my children.
And these your students, these your club members, book club members, they were from different states or different cities?
They were different areas. And
but so one person said he was living for
their family, their child, and she lost one of her children, and life wasn't the same for her. Wasn't the same.
Because a lot of people are still thinking that life is just about them and their family.
Yes.
But life is about the kingdom, about the mission you are created for.
There was times of crying, there was times of silence, and I honestly tell you, there were also times that people actually, when I say delivered, I'm not talking about anointing oil or laying hands on anybody, but what we were reading from the book was producing deliverance. There was a lady there, she really believed that she was being attacked by demons. She believed it. Then we went into the book, and then I began to show her that, wait a minute, even let's say that is even true. You have forgotten the tools that has been given to you. So we talked about the armor of God, and so I said, remember, you have all this. You have the word of God. You have the total armor of God. Use those things. Go over what we've read in the book. And the next day she called me. Until this day that I'm talking, she told me she doesn't even experience those things anymore. That demon is chasing her or something, because as she's reading that book, in fact, her mind is not even there. So, now she's like excited about what am I called for. I always knew I was called, and now I know how to find my calling. So those are the examples with the books. Then in the process, one of my ladies that have been coming on, Nefertari, she just sent me something through Facebook, and it was an article that says that California prisons are looking for more books. They don't have enough books in the prison. So she sent me that flyer. So I went to go and do some research to find that that was true, that they needed some books. So I said, when I get back, I'll talk to her. She's a librarian. She knows about books and how to get books here and get books there. So what I'm doing at this time is just having a strategy on how to get books to the prisons and what books of Pastor Sunday to take to the prison. Then the other thing is libraries. My friend she's a Nefertari, yeah. She that's her thing, is the libraries. And so I want to I used to do this before, but this is going to be laughable. I used to go and put Nigerian movies, Nollywood movies is what I used to put in the library, and people used to come pick them up from the library, borrow. But now I know that I could use that same system now to put Pastor Sunday's books there. What they would do is just be borrowing the book, but I would be driving traffic in my local place about the book being there, so that people who are not able to buy the book can go to the library and borrow the book. So those are some of the things that I'm putting together. Then the last thing, in London, I was wandering around. I wanted to go to the library.
This is someone not even living in London, but she has left the footstep. Footprint. Just visiting. You see what a kingdom carrier could be. That's how we become kingdom carriers. Everywhere you go, there is an impact. But when you learn these kingdom principles, kingdom laws, you bring the kingdom, the rules of the kingdom, the orders of God. You change the world without any title, no pastor, no apostle, no prophet, no deliverance minister, just a God carrier. And this is what we want to cultivate in the DSA family. We're about reflecting God, carrying God, and imposing the kingdom of God.
While I was in London, I came across a nurse. I also talked about your project, Pastor Sunday. She's really interested. But anyway, we were talking, and she was giving me a feedback about women who are committing suicide, women who are giving birth to kids and they're not in their right mind. Depression, anxiety has overtaken them. And as I listened to the news, in America, we do have our thing. We do have the mass killings and everything. But what I noticed there, the news that I was receiving from the newspaper, from the news, was that actually people were killing themselves more from the news that I was getting. And I felt that the reason probably was because they felt that there was nothing else worth living for. That's why they were killing themselves. So I had a desire to go to the library there, and my cousins were able to locate a library nearby. So I went to the library, and when I got there, I said to myself, I need to know about this library. What do they offer? What is going on? So I went to the lady. She gave me this whole brochure about the library. I took the brochure back home and I was reading it. They actually, in that library, and they told me it's in quite a few libraries in London, they actually look for people who can come and talk to the community. If you have a subject about something, they allow you to come, make the presentation to the community, people who don't work or people who just retired or mothers that just have children, and they would come in and listen to your presentation. And I said, whoa, when I'm coming to visit, I'm going to set that up. And so I asked my cousins about it, and this is what they told me. They said it is true that volunteers do come, they put a program, we're going to do this, and people go and the volunteer is not there. That's always the problem, that the flyer goes out, but the person is not there. I said, wow. So I said to myself, okay, when I have my next trip to London, I'm going to investigate, I'm going to do some extracts from some of the books, and I'm going to make it as a presentation for that community through the library. That was another thing that I said.
Thank you so very much. That is product right now. That is result we are talking about. Now, Mrs. Shoronke started a report by talking about who am I and why am I here book, and she has a glorious story to tell, and she started a library as a result. So the question I would like you people watching me, even if you are watching Pastor Sunday for 1 month, that 1 month could be enough, especially if you are watching him constantly. It's 2 times a day. If you are devouring his products for 1 month, that might be enough for you sometimes to produce a product. But sometimes we might not. Don't blame yourself. You could even be listening to him for 1 year and no result yet. That could be because of where you are coming from. Maybe you are so much in the minus that you need a lot of ground to cover to just come back to balance, to ground zero, before you begin to become plus. Some people, they will need that kind of, just compensation, just awakening for a month. Some people just need 1 day of awakening. Some people need a whole year of awakening. But if we are all very serious about listening to Pastor Sunday, and you are listening, not just to like listen, by the way, just in passing, but if you are really dedicated listening to any of those messages 2 times, 3 times, and you are really listening to convert them and to make word flesh, you will be producing results in no time. I remember, we're talking about this book, Who Am I? That's just one book, right? Even though it's very important, but many other books are there. That, in fact, here in Ukraine, I have a project that is called University of Life Project. And University of Life Project is maximizing, it's a project about maximizing Dr. Sunday Adelaja's books. And the minimum we get from every book is 20 projects. But maximum we have gotten from each book is 200 projects. Do you know that? Oh my. There's so much for me to tell the world. Is there any book of mine here? Anyway, give me one book.
English.
Yeah. Do you know that every single book of Pastor Sunday that you get a hold of, you'll be making a deep mistake if you just read Pastor Sunday's book and wait for the next one. If you have ever read any one of Pastor Sunday's books, and you don't have a product, not a single product at the end of the day, after reading one of my books, just one, then it means either you are not familiar with Pastor Dr. Sunday, or you don't know how to read his books. You don't know how to read them. Or you don't know how my books are written. My books are written in a thorough way, in such a way, we could have grammatical mistakes and things like that. That's not the idea. But I'm talking about written in a way that every book is impregnated. Every book is having embryos. Every book is full of seeds. Every book is pregnant. Let's say this book, for example. I can't even begin to tell you how many projects have been given birth to different ones as a result of this book. But in this book here, there are at least 100 projects. That is why there are stories in the books. That is why there are examples in the book. That's why there are principles in the book. So for example, let's say the book, Who Am I? So here now, well, if you read it properly, with expectations to unveil projects, you will. This book here as well, I already have testimonies from this book of projects. I already have stories of projects from this particular book too. In this book, there are 200 projects in this book here, buried inside it. But I'm not even talking about this. And the reason I'm not talking about this to people who read them is because, first of all, I want to see how deep are people. Because you've got to be deep to be able to see those things. Just like somebody she was talking to read my book, Who Am I, twice, and never could resolve our problems or his problems. But she could, because she was really studying them. Here, there are 200. This book here is called Mountain of Ignorance. There are 200 projects here. Projects like NGOs. That means you could start 200 NGOs out of this book. Not on one topic, on 200 different topics. That's what I mean by projects. This one here. Can you imagine how many projects are hidden here? And how strategies and tactics on how to implement them. This one here, 140 projects in this book. You look and see if they are saying the title.
Okay.
140 projects in this book. Did you hear the story about this book? The testimony on Facebook is on my Facebook page. Somebody who started to read chapter 1, or introduction, chapter 1, preface, and vowed that I will not eat, nor drink, nor sleep until I finish reading this book. I will not even drink. I will not even eat. This is this book. Can you imagine how many projects are in this one? DSA family. By the time I'm through with you, give me your name. By the time I'm through with you, DSA family, we are going to be producing giants walking on the face of the earth. Giants walking like humans. All of you who are serious. All of you who are not overtaken by Uncle Sam, who are not sold to Uncle Sam, who are not overtaken by mediocrity and emptiness. All of you who really want to make a difference, who really are serious about this stuff. Not just the books, but those series, the playlist from YouTube, like we spoke about the last time. So, reason and think product. Don't just think excitement. Don't just think pleasure. Don't just think party. Don't just think celebration. Think results, products. Talking about who am I know Muiwa has a splashing testimony about that as well. Because she came in here and she said, I can't find myself. I don't know what to do and who am I? I said, have you read that book? And then she told me, yeah, maybe she has read it. I said, did you listen to my teachings? I said, oh, yeah. You know, that's how everybody is doing, you know. I said, you cannot read that book and write the exams and answer the questions and not discover who you are. Oh, yeah. Okay, I will start again. So she started again. Before she finished, an explosion started happening in Mayowa. She will tell a story by herself. And even Mayowa started to come up with an idea of a product. She started producing that from that book, which is, she started doing her own show. And she got some responses already before I diverted her attention to come and be leading my program. So that is a product, and that is within a month of getting to Ukraine. Although unfortunately, when she was in London, even though she was listening, or maybe she was even reading something, but she couldn't produce. I think because of the vanity of the triviality around, we need to be able to overcome that triviality, of the, or the lifestyle of vanity around us. So, will you tell us your story and the product that God has helped you to produce, thanks to the fact that of course, you know what she's doing here. You know, she's a star already. Yeah? She's our DSA Oprah. But apart from that, she even had before then, she had some of these results just after coming here. And coming from where she was coming from, it was a world apart. And just by reading that book as well, one book.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Who Am I was the book that really, really taught me on how unique I am, and that God really expects something from me as His creation. I remember, I think I read it first time, I didn't really get it. I was asking everyone in the house that I'm really still looking for my purpose. I didn't get it. But that's not actually true. I actually got it because through that book I had confidence. Through the book I was I felt happy, I felt released. Just understanding alone that I am created uniquely and that God has a purpose for me. One thing I picked out of the book was that my purpose and we're all of value. So there isn't anybody that is of more value than the other. And there's nothing that I want to do, even if somebody else is doing the same thing, that I cannot do better, or I cannot do that I don't already have what it takes to do it. There's so many lessons in Who Am I that even just the title alone, it's not something that occurred to me to even ask myself that, who am I, why am I here? So even though I remember when Dr. Sunday first launched the book, and he even sent me a copy of the book electronically, but I didn't read it, I didn't do anything with it. I just, I remember he said, oh, I should just look at it for the style and, have a read. I didn't do anything with it, I left it because it didn't occur to me just to look at the title. And, I just want to urge everybody, first of all, like all the titles of each of this book alone can open something for you. They can open your mind, they can open your doors for you if you read it in such a way where you're connected, like almost connected spiritually to the title. If you connect yourself spiritually to the title, it's like having a topic in mind. If somebody gives you a subject to talk about, if you're not connected with that subject, you can't talk about it. Your memory bank or your filing cabinet in your head will not be able to pick out information about the subject if there's a title that was given to you to write about or discuss. So first of all, each topic or each title of the book is significant, because I think that's where I started. When when Dr. Sunday said, have I read Who Am I? Because the first 2 weeks I was feeling kind of like a underachiever when I came here. I felt like I couldn't do anything, I didn't know anything, that I'm just like a baby that can't even crawl, let alone walk. And when I look around me, I see everyone in this house, they're really high achiever, they're very focused, they know what they're doing, they know where they're going. So Dr. Sunday advised me to have a look at Who Am I? And that first time when I finished reading, I think I read it in a few days, I just read through it. And I know there's something in that book. I know that book did something, but it wasn't tangible for me. I couldn't kind of note it. And then he said, okay, why don't you also watch the series on YouTube? So I started watching the series, but instead of just watching the series alone, I started watching the series and reading the book again for the second time. And I think that's when I became free. I got rid of anger. So there was no anger with me. I didn't feel like I've lost anything. I was somebody that was chewing over my life being wasted, over not knowing the things that I'm getting to know now. So I was getting angry. I was, some days I would be angry and said, okay, that's it. I'll draw a line over these things now and just face whatever I need to do. But at the point when I started reading Who Am I left everything behind. I forgot about all those things that were giving me pain, and I stopped getting angry. And I started having insight. I started having insight on being a human being, what God is giving me as a human being, having the mind, a sound mind, what that means and what I need to do with my sound mind, what I need to do as a creation, as a creation and as a creator as well, that everything that is needed is input, is already in me, and I need to harness them and make something of my life. And I think being in this environment, definitely, Dr. Sunday would always encourage you. But prior to the time that before I read Who Am I, he would encourage me, but those encouragement just went over my head. Like I didn't feel empowered. But I'm really passionate about this book. I'm really passionate about Who Am I, because if you don't know who you are, this is for everybody. If you don't know who you are, basic is a ground zero basic foundation. There's nothing you can do. There's no, that foundation is lost. That foundation is on, it's not even stand. It's worse, whatever is worse than stand. That's what it is. So for everybody, I think that is one book that we all need to have, because
You said you never even heard of that person.
no, the
That-
title,
that never bothered.
yes, the title, who am I, or even the question, who am I, is not a question that I've ever asked myself, or I've ever asked other people even to say, who are they? You know, we all need to ask ourselves, who are we? Who am I? You? Who are you? Why are you here? And, you know, I think I read the first page. I must have read that page like maybe 20 times. The first page, I remember what's in it. I haven't even picked up this book for over a month now, but it's a book that is already it's on my desk, and I always see it, that this is my go-to book. If I have ever feel confused, this is the book that I go to. The first chapter was a story, the first page, not even the whole chapter. It was a story about a monk and a guy that is a journalist, and goes around asking everybody that questions about who are you, why are you here, and people were giving trivial question answers, irrelevant question, and then he came across a monk kind of person and asked, who are you? And the person said to him, who are you? You know, and then what's the purpose of it? Then he replied that he's a journalist, and then the guy said, that's your job. Then he replied again and said something else. Maybe he was a father. He said, that's just what you are, like a role, you know. That's not who you are. Who are you? So that page, I read it over and over again. And then there's another, on the first page, there's a first quote that says that the being here is to be true and happy. And I kept on reading over and over, true and happy, true and happy. I'm somebody that was very camera shy, So it was a true and happy quote. I read that quote and I went on YouTube. I did a video about it. I did a video over and over again on just being true and happy. What does it mean to be true and happy? You know these words. You know what it means when somebody says truth. You know, be truthful. And then what they say, being happy. But when you read it all together, like true and happy, what does that mean? So I kept on asking everybody that, do you even know what it means to be true and happy? True to yourself, an honest person, what does it mean? You know, and then I started looking within myself. I started looking at myself like, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror to identify who you are. You know, I started looking at my features. That book did a lot for me. I started looking at my features, the things that I couldn't face. Even my self-image, that book put it together for me. You know, I could ask myself questions. I started identifying myself, like if you see somebody, to know who the person is. So I look at myself and I was able to identify that this is me, this is my features, this is who I am. From the inside out, you know, I know myself from inside to out, and then from outside also in. You know, I really can't explain this to you. I don't think there's words that I can use to describe who am I, why am I here, I've done in terms of a book. And then there are the 3 parts to the book. So there's one part that deals with you just identifying who you are. There's another part identifying you from your past and you going back to your foundation and identifying challenges that are the challenges in life that have caused you to maybe have a stumbling block, or maybe your behavior or your character, what built you to be who you are right now. You know, it takes you back to that. So you have to go back and dig. I mean, that's everything. I think that's like some therapy. That book can be therapy. Yeah, it's a book of therapy. It's a book of everything. Like, instead of going around spending money with therapists and all that, if you read that book and you read each chapter, each page, and there's no way that you're not going to come out a different person, and you're not going to come out to even know who you are, identify who you are. And luckily, there's also a YouTube video. There's a series that helps you with that. So if you're reading the book and you're just reading and reading, then you can also go have time, because what I did was when you're reading, you have to sit in a spot or stand or do whatever and just focus on reading the book. When I read the book and I also listened to the YouTube audios, not audios, videos, but I wasn't watching the video, I was just listening to it as an audio. That really helped as well, because I was moving around and listening, and things were just aligning between the book and my life, and also what the audio is saying. Real life everything just started coming to life. So this book is a book that I feel like is, for me, is close to like a Bible of you. You know, like when people read Bible, they have new revelation every time. So I feel like if you don't read Bibles, or you're not interested in Bibles, or you don't, or not even interested, because I believe all of us are interested in Bible, because we are all believers. But if you're not a believer and you struggle with reading Bible and understanding the Bible, I think the next step to reading the Bible would be, who am I and why am I here? So that's one thing that I can really say. And then from there are things that, if YouTube is something that I've always wanted to do, that I just didn't have the confidence, and I always feel like there's something wrong when I look at myself in the mirror. Oh, I don't like this. Not in the mirror, in the camera. I don't like this. I don't want this. This is not perfect enough. Who am I? Just dispel all those ideology from, all those fear, just took it away from me. My imperfection, it made me realize that my imperfection were exactly what is needed in order for me to actually help my world. My imperfection were created there. I can use my imperfection to perfect something else, or perfect other people, and to create. So that just went straight out from reading the book. And then, I started the YouTube, even though I did find the YouTube a little bit challenging, but coming out and just being in front of the camera now, and being able to talk and speak to people, and even make mistakes in front of the camera, and make myself silly and everything, is because I know who I am. It's because I have that confidence to know that this is the person that I am. Not only that I am not perfect right now, but I can be perfect. I am a creator. I have power. All my lapses and things that I can't do well, I have the power and the authority to make it well, to make it better. I don't need to wait for anything or anyone to make it better for me. God has already instilled that in me. So that's one thing that, gave me the confidence as well to be able to speak. And obviously, I have the opportunity from Dr. Sunday, because it was Dr. Sunday that actually pushed me to start talking on Facebook Live. I know we've talked about this so many times, that Facebook Live is something that I actually vowed that I am not doing. I don't want to do live. I don't want to talk to anybody live. And I actually find live much easier now than to do video for YouTube. So can you imagine, I used to think, okay, I'll do video for YouTube, and then I'll edit it.
You started doing video.
Yes.
Just a recorded video.
Yes, I did. I started doing recorded video on YouTube, and other people.
As to avoid live.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, to avoid live, I started doing a recorded video. And if you look at some of the video, please, I'm not going to delete it. Just go and check my page, and you'll see that I couldn't even look in the camera. That was before. I used to look up, and then as I started reading, Who Am I? You can see the changes. You can see how I'm evolving. It's really obvious. You can see how I'm evolving now. I can look in the camera, and obviously the progress now. And also the other thing that I wanted to do so much was a blog. And I used to put all sorts of obstacle about doing a blog. I don't want to do this. This is going to happen. If somebody reads it, the grammar is not right. All that I just threw it out of the door. It's only time now. It's like what I don't have now is enough time in the day. But in terms of confidence, ideas, faith in myself, those things are not an issue at all. It's just having the time to execute everything, plus the things that are already on ground that needs to be done in order for people to benefit. But I feel so confident. I feel like, right now, from now, there's no going back. Like I can take on anything. I can take on the world. I can, I am a tool for God, and I can make a change. I can make a change in my environment, in my world, to people. There's no obstacle of anything, not financial obstacle, not physical obstacle. There's nothing. I feel like I am a creator myself. Like I can create something. Whatever I can conceive to do, I can do it. And even there's more that needs to be conceived. I feel like there's so many, not even feel, I know. It's not even a feeling, okay? Because I'm not going by emotions here. I am going from the fact of the knowledge that I have now of who I am, that there's nothing that I want to create or needs to be created. And once I decide to do it, I will do it, and it would be a success. So who am I, please, guys? For me, I liken who am I to Bible. So that's a Bible for me. It's a Bible of my life. It's a Bible for everything that you need to do. If you just take that book and just dissect it slowly, it's something that every time you read, because I read it, I've read it now 3 times, and each time that I read Who Am I, there's new things, new information, new ideas, new confidence, strength. There's so much that I can do, and that would be part of my my blog. Who Am I is one thing that is a go-to book that everybody that really wants to be something, know their world, know who they are. That's a book that everyone must get. It doesn't matter if you don't ever read anything else. Just read Who Am I and Why Am I Here. If you don't ever read any of Dr. Sunday's book, which I believe that it would actually propel you to read all the other books and understand that you need all the other knowledge, all the other wisdom. But I'm just saying that if you don't read anything at all, just read that book. And there's more to come. This is just the beginning of the things that will come. It's only time in the day that I feel like I don't have to execute everything that needs to be executed, but I know that I can do it, and I will do it. I will definitely do them. So that's my Who Am I experience and testimony. I feel like I can go on and on and on, but there's a lot that Dr. Sunday wants to get through tonight. So I'll just let him go on and continue.
You see, we're talking about products, and since we are DSA family, and we are creating a new set of human beings on the earth, we are creating a new set of humans, people. Who are these humans? Humans that are led and are associated and are recognizable just by their ability to carry God. To carry God by their lifestyle of the kingdom, and to produce results of the kingdom. That is what the DSA family is all about. So it's not just about listening to something. It's not just about having fellowship saying hi, hi. We are more than excitement. We are more than just fun. We are more than just emotions. This is about concrete results. Now, I'm going to call Ufoma on Skype so that she will be able to talk to us. But before I call her, let me read what she had just written on Facebook. She told me she wrote, and I got it. So Ufoma's testimony. Ufoma is saying, it's my DSA Facebook Live anniversary. So today is 1 year since Ufoma started following DSA on live program. So today is DSA, is Ufoma's anniversary. And she wrote, and she's writing, I guess I can say it's about this time last year it all began. Dr. Sunday Adelaja got me into reevaluating everything about life. Then she gaps and says, I can't say it has been a year now. In 1 year, just listening to a man on Facebook Live totally changed everything about my life and living in general. Dr. Sunday Adelaja woke me up from a deep stupor. Suddenly, I was worried and angry that I had wasted so much time. I realized that God has a purpose for creating me in the first place. Do you want to tell me that there are people in the world that don't realize that?
Yeah.
There are people in this world who don't realize, who didn't realize, or who might still not realize that there is a purpose for why God created them.
Most of them.
My God. And I cannot even believe it even the more that Ufoma is all right in this. Because the Ufoma that I know today, she is such a powerful. She's so focused. She's so multifaceted, multi-gifted. She's so gifted in every direction. She's so talented For her to have lived all her life not even knowing she was special. And that God created and sent her here just for something special, unique. With all her gifts. So if she, who is so gifted, so brilliant, so wise, so eloquent, so bold, didn't even realize this or didn't know this, what about the ones who are absolutely weak? Suddenly I was angry and worried that I had wasted so much time. I realized that God had a purpose for creating me in the first place. Nothing else mattered but how to please my Maker now and how to leave my mark in the sand of time. This is after she started listening. This is what everybody is supposed to be telling themselves every day, even without listening to me. Because you came here to leave a mark anyway. You came here on a mission. You have to fulfill it. It doesn't matter either you meet Pastor Sunday or you don't meet Pastor Sunday. In 1 year, I began a club. She woke up from that stupor. She woke up from that stupor for real. In 1 year, I began a club to impact the life of young girls. To help young girls imbibe values that we make them strong and focused women who know their worth, and we grow up to be self-sufficient, capable, and confident women in their later years. She found purpose. She became a life giver, not just to all children, but to all women, all girls that will come cross, that will dare cross a path. In 1 year, my business has also taken a giant stride to expand and be relevant in the marketplace. She had a business she was just doing for herself, but now the purpose of her business has changed. If before she was doing business just to have some money, like most people do, look at what product means. Look at what result means. She is now repackaging a product to send a message to the marketplace. The goal now is to use the product as a means, as an instrument, as a tool to transform that sphere of the marketplace, that area of the promised land, of the market, of the world. It's not more just about the money. It's about changing that marketplace, bringing God's value there, bringing the kingdom impact there, and making an impact and making a difference in the world through our product, through our business. My business has also taken a giant stride to expand. So she started expanding her business and to be relevant in the... So it's not just about selling product. It's about bringing relevance, kingdom relevance to the marketplace. After realizing that I can no longer work for Uncle Sam, I had to step up my game. I rebranded and relaunched my product into the market. I had to step up my game. I rebranded. See, that's a product right there of meeting Dr. Sunday Adelaja. I rebranded and relaunched. That's a product right there, my product into the market. I also started a course this year to help me in the pursuit of my purpose. Who would have thought that so much can be achieved in 1 year? Dr. Sunday Adelaja says so. He says so much could be achieved. And I went ahead and achieved it. Is that not a cause for celebration? I can start a party right now. I can begin to dance right now. I can get the best music right now. There is a cause for celebration. You say, so celebration is supposed to be emanating from somewhere. Celebration is supposed to be spurred by something. Celebration is supposed to be springing from something. Celebration is not just because someone is born. The fact that you are born, what has that life contributed? Celebration is just about the fact that something happened. What is the reason for the celebration? So this 1 year anniversary is a real cause of celebration. We could be throwing parties now because of how many things she has been able to achieve in 1 year of listening to. This is what we should be partying for. Dr. D, this is even much more bigger result that she had done all her life as a human being, apart from just giving birth to children and getting married, going to school. Dr. Adelaja teaches that life is predictable and you can recreate and reinvent your life by making a choice to change your mind. That is what DSA is all about. To recreate and reinvent yourself. Recreate yourself. It's not enough that your mom gave birth to you. Recreate and reinvent yourself. It teaches, and that's through your mind, through your understanding. It teaches that by engaging in self-development and developing personal relationship with God, you can become any kind of success in life. She got it just right. I cannot believe it's only been a year. I've been a Christian and churchgoer for over 30 years. But I did not attain this level of speed and accomplishment like I've done in just 1 year. I was just existing. I was just existing, and being religious. Can you imagine how many people are just existing and just being religious and comforting themselves that they are going to church or they are listening to some church, they are cleaning, building, or just doing some. I'm not degrading anything you are doing in church, but they are just doing housekeeping in church, being religious, doing housekeeping instead of being productive. These are the kind of testimonies. This is real testimony now. All those other testimonies that we used to hear, those are jokes because they are centered on egocentrism and selfishness. And this kind of testimonies, you all used to wonder when I used to bring the Russians to come bring their testimonies. I used to say, wow, what kind of testimony they have? Now it's no more just the Russians having those kind of testimonies. We all now having the same testimony. Say, kingdom produces result. Kingdom produces result. And this is the kind of testimony that will be in thousands and millions in Nigeria and in Africa when we get there. These are no more your Russians and Ukrainians. Somebody says, oh, it's because they are not Africans. Oh, their mindset is different. Oh, because they are white. Oh, because they are Europeans. It is the truth that brings that result in them, the kingdom. This is what Jesus said. Go ye and make disciples of all nations. This is what he was talking about. Not religious, but to reinvent people, to recreate people. I cannot believe it's only been a year. I have been a Christian and churchgoer for over 30 years, but I did not attain this level of speed and accomplishment. I was just existing and being religious. I was actually not living. It is true that the message you listen to can make or destroy you, make or mar you. You are, or who are you listening to right now? Let me introduce you to a man that is capable of turning your life right upside down. So many testimonies abound to this fact. Thank you, Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Above all, I give God praise for raising you up for such a time as this. Father, I thank you for your son, Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Kisses, kisses, kisses. But I have a surprise for you. I wanted to say Dr. Anigoro, Ufuoma Anigoro. She talked about her product and about the marketplace. when the last time, still a month ago, when Ufoma came here, she had a product, she was still selling the same product, but not in a competitive and presentable manner. So I told my wife, I think my wife told her, or maybe I told her also, that she could repackage this thing and think dominion, subduing the earth, subduing the market. And a lot of millions of Nigerian women know how to do the same thing that Ufoma is doing. But now she has launched herself into the UK market. See the product. See the products of Ufoma. See Ufoma's product. Nutrition. Typical values. Ingredients. Our product is called Marvelous Mix Shin Shin. The Shin Shin that many Africans know what it is. Many Africans know what is Shin Shin and they do it locally, but none of them have thought of packaging it on a high level like this, registering it, having the date for it, the expiration date, the mark for it, everything, the number for it. In the next 1 month after she was corrected by Dr. Sunday, she got it ready, made in UK, created in Africa. So this is a product now available in the UK market on a high level, not just in some subway African market in London. But this is going to supermarkets and stores and everywhere right now. I think we should all shout out.
Yeah.
I think we should all shout out for her. And I'm going to call her in so that we could talk to Ufoma right here. So get ready. I'm going to call her. She's going to be here to share her testimony by herself. So Ufoma is coming. She's about to come on. I'm calling her right now on Skype. I'm sure she will pick the phone. Okay, here she is. Here she is. You are our hero. You are the hero of the day today. If you don't know how she looks like, can you have a video? Or you are not set for a video? Don't worry, I have your picture here. Don't worry, I will show your picture. I will just show your picture. Can you show a picture?
Yes.
Can you see a picture? That is Ufoma right there. She didn't know I was going to call her, but I'm giving her a surprise. But here she comes. Now she's ready to bless us. So tell us your story. Welcome. Everybody's here listening to you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, DSA family, everyone on the platform.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just, it's just this evening that Facebook kind of reminded me, of my encounter with you. And it just really got me thinking, and I decided to write because I'm really, my heart is really full. Especially following this last celebrating you.
Can you make your telephone stable somewhere, or telephone? Don't move it, so that it will be stable. You just stable somewhere so that you can hear your voice very well. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just thanking God as I was writing, it was out of a heart of gratitude because all through the week and for Facebook to remind me and thinking that all of this has just been during 1 year, my heart is just really full of gratitude. Those are just the little I could write, but apart from this, a lot of other things.
No, wait. You are talking about what you wrote. I'm not even. I didn't even know you wrote anything. What happened was that I was busy the whole day, and Mayowa came to me and wanted to know what are we talking about today. But God had spoken to me in the morning about talking about products, but I'd forgotten about it. So it took me time to really remember. I knew God spoke to me about something, but I didn't know what. So I knew I was supposed to profile somebody, and I didn't know who to profile because there are many of our people there say who are having products. Then as I was thinking, it was 15 minutes to the program. Mrs. Shorunke walked in with your shin, marvelous shin. Yes, packaged in another package. And I was saying, and she told me this is from Adegoro Ufoma. I said, but she's been here for like a month now. And he just today, when I needed to talk about product, she didn't know. I didn't tell her. I even forgot the topic. It was when she brought the product that I remember that this is what God spoke to me in the morning. And then I was about to talk to, I said I was going to invite you. So I wrote you on Skype. Then you told me you had written something on Facebook. So I went to look for it and I got it. Wow. And Facebook was reminding you at the same time. So today is your day. So today is your day for testimony. Give us all your products that God that has happened in your life since that 1 year.
I am, but I can just, I don't know what to say. I'm really so overwhelmed right now because the sequence of events right now is not an accident. I don't see it as an accident because I was shocked when I saw you when you came on, and I also saw the topic, and I said, oh, I just wrote something in that line. You know, and for Mrs. Shorunke to also do that and all of that today, I'm just so amazed at the way everything is plotted out for me today. Yeah, but I want to just thank God because, like I said in my testimony, it's like you're just going through life, not really realizing. It's like you're not even aware of the things that are around you. You're just in this kind of stupor, just doing things, waking up, the daily routine of being married, of children. And it's like there was nothing much to live in actually until I met you. And you know, the shock of it all, you know, having to hear the things you were saying in the area of my finances, in the area of my marriage, in the area of my purpose, you know, as the topics were coming, I was like, wow, what have I been doing with my life? What have I been doing with my life? You know, and I cannot forget my encounter with you for the life of me. I can never forget because I suddenly realized that there was much more to life than you know that I knew of. There was more to life than that I knew of. You know, and having to go through the series of purpose and calling was the greatest miracle in my life. I always say that the greatest miracle you can ever have in life is to discover your purpose. And the day I realized it, that this is why God created me here, this is why I was having all of this anger, this is why I was having all of this pain and this frustration with women and wondering what they had done with their life as young girls. You know, when I realized that this is why God has created me, from that day I started living. My life had a new meaning altogether. My life just had a new meaning. I came alive. I woke up. I was so. The only thing that was bothering that became my anger was like, oh my God, look at all the time I have wasted. This is what I was supposed to have been doing. You know, but I've wasted so much time. That was the only worry, and I was like, I just needed to catch up. I just needed to be fast. I just needed to be in time. You know, and I thank God. I will always continue to thank God for you, sir, because even through your message, the message of the kingdom, the message about the church, I remember sharing the miracle that I received with you of God's favor, where I went into the hospital and I had a procedure that ordinarily would not have happened, just because through your message I changed the way of giving. I changed my way of giving. I changed my way of using my tithe and offering. And the things that I thought I could not even afford by myself, God started doing them for me without me paying a couple. Just because of these messages that I was hearing. Hello, sir.
Yes. Everybody is hearing you.
You know, I received
all the platform is listening to you.
You know, a miracle that would have cost me, you know, some thousands of pounds just happened like that. And I never experienced that kind of favor in my life. But I knew it was connected to the teachings and the change of my mind, the change of my lifestyle because of the teaching that I was hearing. I knew that was what attracted that favor. The confidence to actually even begin to actually listening to the message of your kingdom, on the kingdom, the message of the church, the time conversion, all of that, they started challenging my mind. I just knew that I wasn't doing enough. I had to sit up and begin to reevaluate my life. Even my husband also, he was like, my husband even right now has started, he had to take up a course. He's back to school. He's developing himself also. Seeing ourselves doing all of this within this short period of time of just listening to you online, it's just amazing. And when I compare it to the last 30 years or so of my life, and wondering that I was just moving, just going through the motions of life without really, no focus, no goal, no purpose. And in 1 year of just redefining my focus and rediscovering my purpose and achieving all of this, I'm really so grateful to God and for you, sir. I'm so grateful to God.
So we talk about let's talk about the concrete product that your life has produced in this last 1 year. Number one product is you discovered yourself.
I discovered myself.
Number two,
and I discovered my purpose. Yeah.
You discovered yourself. That's number one. Yeah. Number two, you discovered your purpose.
My purpose.
Yes. Number three, you began to have confidence.
Yes.
To do what you couldn't do. Number four, you started producing the most important. You enter into your product, which you started a club for young girls in London. Talk to us about that club.
Yeah. So after listening and realizing that not discovering why God created me and looking, because especially when you talk that message that your purpose is buried in your background. When I listen to that message and I began to look at my background and the way I have been, I just knew that this is what God had packaged me for to do. And I walking down the street, it was like anytime I see any young girl, and I remember sharing, actually after having a encounter with reading Sister Nkiru's book and sharing with her, what was burning in my heart. I felt like if I'm walking down the street, I just want to gather all the young girls and just cover them up. I was like, I wanted to just create a protective cover for all the girls, and with her encouragement, was like, how do I go about this? And so like, start from your home. And I opened my door and I started bringing these girls into my home and, just wanting to pour into them and put values into them so that, they will not grow up to be damaged adults. They will not grow up to living a life of regret. They will be so, with the principles, that I was learning and here, especially from the book, Who Am I? They will know themselves so well that they will become a blessing in their generation.
You started in your house, but by the grace of God, by the time you strengthen yourself, one of the things you'll be able to do is to write for a grant. You could write for a grant with the government. It could be British government grant. It could be some NGO grant. It could be some worldwide grant. You could present a program and be able to be getting funding from all over the world. And then the schools you are having you will tell us more about what these centers for the girls, but it could be maybe not just in London. Maybe it's going to be all over Britain, or maybe it's going to be all over Europe. Maybe it's going to be all over the world. But let's hear you more. So keep on telling your story. Go ahead.
So I wrote out my plan, and when I discovered that my home will not be able to accommodate the girls, I wrote to the community and for a hall to hire. And they granted me a hall. They told me I could use it. They gave me the keys to the hall and for the times that I needed to use it. And I was so grateful to God.
Glory to God. Glory to God. Glory to God.
That I could get it. So that is where we are using now. And just like you were saying, I'm also in the process of registering, getting the bank account, going to the voluntary service organization in my borough here. So I want to register the club. And I have somebody that I'm working with who is a charity consultant, and she's telling me all the things that I need to do so that I could, because I noticed that there's a lot I could do if I have more funds available. And the truth is that from what I hear is that there is need. So I want to be able to do that. And through this period, I've also come for HMT. So trying to develop a curriculum, because one of the visions that I have, which is the first thing that God reminded me of when I was 17 that I had, was to go back into the schools and begin to hold special assemblies to actually reach out to these girls. That is the dream I have. I'm talking about it already. I'm also telling some of the girls in the club that when it's time to go, you are the ones that will follow me. I'm actually trying to look. I'm actually seeing a picture of where these girls in the club will actually be the one talking to their mates in this special assembly. Because they will become so big, they will be so influential that they will actually take up these special assemblies and talk to their mates, and I will just lead them there. So I had that dream that will happen, that all of the borough will have special assemblies where we'll visit schools and talk to young girls, and do all of that. So a lot of activities.
And when the money begins to come, you could do more promotion, because we could put a target.
Yeah.
What I always tell people is that when you do anything worth doing at all is worth doing well. We should make publicity so that everybody in the borough, every house in the borough, every family in the borough will know there is a club like this that they could bring their daughters to. Then later on, everybody, every family in Great Britain would know. In London. Then after that, Great Britain, everybody would know. They will be able to have, trainings for teachers or for head of organizations and of your organization departments and head of, it's going to grow by the grace of God.
Amen.
Yes, go ahead. You said you started thinking about doing what?
Yeah, so so for now, because I even talking about the advertisement, I noticed that as I was advertising, I started advertising. I opened a Facebook page, I started advertising, and I'm just surprised that even in that last club meeting, from area that I didn't think people would come, I'm surprised that a mother actually came, even though the mother was to where I am, but she came and brought her 2 daughters. And I actually saw the value of advertising, because you never can know who are the people that are sitting down there actually longing and looking out for something like this. And I'm so glad, because I could see that, yes, those that really want this thing, they are all coming, But that mom actually left a message that day. She couldn't locate the venue, but she has, she also said that, please let me know the next meeting, because I want to bring my daughter. I don't know these people from anywhere. I started with people that I saw around me, but now even people that I don't know from anywhere, they are beginning to locate the club, and they are coming. And my heart is really filled with joy, and I really want to put in my best. And that is also one of the reasons I started the course, the counseling course also, because I give these girls feedback and I see some of the things that they are writing, and my heart breaks. And I know that I need to be professional in dealing and handling some of their issues. You could even from you can see that these girls, they have issues that they are dealing with in their families. So I started.
And that now there are things that you now know exactly where your tithe and offering should be going to. You see.
Oh, Pastor, yes. Exactly. I told myself that if every money I have, when people ask me, oh, are we going to pay? I say you don't need to pay, because this is one thing that my tithe and offering is funding. Wishing life. Now I know I can see tangible results. I'm so glad that now I know that I know what my money is accomplishing. It's not just, it's actually changing lives, and I'm so happy.
This is the real purpose of tithe and offering. This is what real tithe and offering is supposed to be doing.
Yes, I'm so grateful to God, and also listening to your teaching on money and everything. I started really thinking and strategizing of how to become more relevant, because I was doing my teaching I was just doing it like very casually, because I was still nursing the idea that probably I would go back to work full time because of my children, because I've been home because of my child who is disabled, so I was not able to go into full time work. But after listening to your teaching, especially about why being jobless is a blessing, and my whole dream, everything started changing. I said, wow, okay, now I need to really manifest here. A lot of people do change it, but I just suddenly having ideas and just I just suddenly decided that I'm going to make this a very grand product. And the idea of the packaging came, everything. And I'm so grateful to God that right now when people see it, they say, is this the same chin chin? I've never seen it like this before. They are all surprised, but I know that it's God and the spirit of excellence, and that I caught from listening to you teach, because you said in everything you do, you should be the best in it. And that's what I'm striving for, that I'll be the best in whatever I do. That drives me, that pushes me, because God has already blessed us. He has given us everything that we need that will make for life and godliness. So I don't see any reason why I should fail in whatever I do. And it's that spirit that drives me. And everybody, they are really like, wow, we have been seeing packaging, but this is really.
And you have to get in touch with all the major supermarkets and chains and food chains and product chains, and begin to supply them. Then later on, you could begin to have industrial production, not just by yourself in the house. You could begin to have mass production of it and be supplying it to the stores, everything. Yeah, that's the target.
Amen. That's the work that started now. Started, getting in touch with the bigger shops, submitting all the documents that they need, and just waiting for the call back to begin to, do all that. And I'm just amazed that all of this within a year. My life has become so much more productive in a year than it has been for the past 20 or so years. To actually imagine that my life has become so much productive and fruitful, and living a life of being a blessing, not just living for myself, my husband, or my children, but actually living with the joy of serving my master. I am just so thankful to God.
These are concrete products. So what do you do on your Sundays now?
After listening to your message and realizing that, in fact, what is wrong with me? What is wrong? I kept telling myself, what is wrong with you? How did you become this blind? How did you become this? I was like, these are truths that should have been. I don't know, but somehow I lost it, and I'm like, no, I'm not that. It became so difficult. I tried going to church for a while, but it became difficult to sit down and just listening to half truths. I just sit down at home and I just listen to your messages and especially with my family, and that's because I don't want even my children, I don't want them to be sold the lie of religion. I don't just want to be religious anymore.
So you do your own fellowship with your family at home.
At home, that's what I do.
And you produce your results.
And my life is just productive. I just feel so fulfilled. I feel blessed.
So you are worshiping God not by just jumping in the congregation, but by producing results to glorify Him.
Glorify Him. That is it. I feel more fulfilled. Glorify God with the things that I'm doing than just marking register in church and say I'm present. There's no time for that, and there's just so much to do right now.
But who says that what we are doing right now is not church? This is church. We're encouraging each other. We are talking about Christ, how to glorify Him. This is pure church without the religion part of it. But why is it people are thinking that the religious part of it or building has to be present for you to have church? Who said this is not church?
They feel that you are backsliding if they don't see you in church, so they keep asking you questions. I told them, I said, listen, right now I am on leave from church.
Okay, please, you guys, when we finish this, remind me, please, somebody take the note down. Remind me that right now on Skype or somewhere, that I want to write a message develop a message on what is the meaning of church. Church equals fellowship. Church equals fellowship. The meaning of church is fellowship. No, that is the meaning of church. So if you are having fellowship with the brethren, it means you are having fellowship with Christ. If you have fellowship with one another, you have fellowship with Him. And that is church.
That's so true, sir. That's what I've been enjoying. And Another amazing thing is the DSA family, the bond that to actually think that you have been in church with some people for more than 10, 15 years and you don't have the level of closeness that I have. I don't have that same level of closeness I have that, compared to what I have with the DSA family. I'm like, what is this? People think that even some of us just started seeing us physically, but you feel there is more communion, there is more fellowship with these people than with the ones that you are sitting down in a building with for more than 10, 15 years.
Wow.
I feel more communion with these people than, so what am I going there to look for when because everything has just changed. So there's no way I can.
So there is even more fellowship, more communion, more fellowship in DSA family, even through online, than the ones you are sitting in the building with for 15 years.
That is the experience for me. I have, these people have become so close to me than the ones I have been. Even I used to have a fellowship in my heart. Even with the people that I fellowship with my heart, I don't have this kind of communion, this kind of fellowship that I feel, of being a family. I don't have it, the same way I have it with the DSA family. That really amazes me. I'm just so, like you say, I think you described it with a word when you say the kingdom.
Kingdom.
When you are in the kingdom, a different experience altogether.
It's just like Ezinwa. When Ezinwa came here, oh no, maybe it's not Ezinwa. Somebody came here to my house and to Ukraine, and they were sitting near Jefferson, and they were saying, is it heaven? I'm in heaven. No, it's like I'm in heaven in Ukraine. Then Jefferson told the person, it's not. Jefferson told the person, it's not heaven yet, though, but it's the kingdom. You are welcome to the kingdom.
I really thank you because it's so real. It's so you have to be in it to experience it. It's real. Kingdom is real. It's a different world in its own. Even though we are of this world, but we are not actually of this world. We are in a different realm, and that is so empowering. It's a different world of the kingdom. It really empowers me a lot because I work in that consciousness. I just can't do things anyhow anymore because I belong to a kingdom, and that kingdom is about establishing, God's influence, God's values, in every sphere, in every space that I find myself in. It empowers.
Is there any contact? How do people contact you in England?
Okay, I have.
Can you write Facebook? Facebook. What is it called?
I have for my guest club. I have the Marvelous Guest Club.
Can you write it on Facebook Live?
Yes, I think I will do the link actually and just post
Okay.
It.
So they could write you there?
Yes, they can send me a message there, really.
Okay, and if I write something to know that this is you, so that you are on live, or you are live right now with us, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am.
So that people will know that it's you, so that they could inbox you, if anything.
Yeah, they can also. Okay, I'll do that now. My internet is freezing. So in fact today, to actually remember today that thank God for Facebook that helped me remember. I was like, wow, my heart is so full of joy, and I really want to celebrate you because, I know you are a proof of God's faithfulness, that God loves us so much, and He will not allow us to continue to walk in darkness. And He has sent you to open our eyes so that we will not continue to walk in darkness, because light has come, and it's really our time for manifestation.
Yeah, well, actually, we are going to start a program on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to be doing live program. And my live program is going to be, on, church, the prostitution of tithe and offering in the church. That will be from Monday evening, 9 o'clock our time. But before 9 o'clock our time, 7 o'clock our time, is going to be another program that we're going to be doing with the girls. And it's going to be call-in programs. The program will be about contestants. So the contestants who participated in the DSA, I don't know what they call it, contestants.
Golden Jubilee.
Yeah, Golden Jubilee contestants. So they will we'll be reading out their results. We'll be talking about what people have done. And just like you now with the products, we are going to be presenting people's products. So it's all about products in the kingdom of God. I mean, the word has to become flesh. Even Jesus, even though he was with God in the beginning, but until he became flesh, it didn't help anybody. The word had to become flesh. Everything we are doing, DSA family, we have to produce concrete results. And that's why you are on today, because you are producing concrete results. Congratulations to you, former. Jesus is proud of you. Heaven is proud of you. I want you to know that just like I'm feeling the feeling of the Father's heart, I have the ability to feel what God is feeling. And I'm feeling that the heart of God is rejoicing for you. Angels are rejoicing for you. Each time you do anything that pleases the will of the Father, that makes the heart of the Father rejoice, angels are rejoicing. Either it is somebody who got saved, or you are just bringing the will of God to the earth from heaven, angels are rejoicing. Whenever you cause the will of God to be established on earth as in heaven, whenever you bring the will of the Father to the earth and come to pass, whenever you establish the kingdom, whenever you walk in your calling and destiny, whenever you do what God expects of you, angels are rejoicing. Angels are rejoicing for your sake. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for Mrs. Shoronke. I'm so happy for every one of you on DSA family who are discovering yourselves and who are bringing forth fruits of the kingdom. I'm so happy. Our Father in heaven is happy. You shouldn't be afraid of death from now on anymore. No cause to be afraid of death. You can die knowing that angels are coming to meet you, that our Father is coming to meet you, that Jesus is coming with bright smile in his face, with rejoicing to meet with you, because you can die knowing what is you are to expect, that rewards are waiting for you. That's now you know why I talk about death all the time. I talk about death all the time because I know I'm labored to be able to die with pride, to be able to die with joy, to be able to die knowing what to expect. God is excited. Heaven is excited. Jesus is excited for everybody that is doing his will on earth. That's why we kill death. We kill the fear of death by bringing to pass the will of God in our lives every day.
That's true, sir. That's so true.
So thank you so much. I think we should shout out and thumb up for Ufoma, everybody on DSA family, on live program. Let us all shout out for Ufoma and people here. Let's clap. Shout out to her. Shout out. Hallelujah. Now we can celebrate. These are the kind of things to celebrate. These are the reasons to celebrate here. And of course for Mrs. Shorunke as well. Let's shout out to her. Thank you so very much. We are going back to live now, and we are going to read people's comments and see what they have to tell us. God bless you, Fuma. I'm very proud of you. I'm hugging you, sending you a lot of kisses now.
Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you so much. God bless you for impacting my life.
Thank you for being a backbone in the body of Christ in DSA family.
Amen.
Greetings to your husband and to your kids.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
And same here.
Bye.
Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Okay. I'm going to start from Mrs. Shorunke's testimony time. The best way, so Omonike says the best way to celebrate is physical product. Jane wrote tangible physical product. A person says really, okay, let me. A person said true talk by my pastor. Your life must produce something. Wow, that's Omonike. Julie wrote that Rochelle's notes or articles was about my trip to Ukraine. For those who don't know, Phyllis say, I love and miss Mrs. Lola. That's from Phyllis Meek. Gregory says, okay, it's just greeting us. Thank you, Gregory. Matthew said, DSA, great teacher, worth hearing. Monica says, thanks so much, Pastor Son, PSA. Ewa said, I started watching this program precisely a year ago, and I listened when you said we should elevate our ambitions with more credibility to improve our life purpose. Praise God, I decided to enroll for my MSc program in public health, and now, as the program is coming to an end, with higher knowledge and enviable grades.
Who is that writing?
That is Ewa Adeniji.
Okay, well, yes.
Yeah.
Can you also make an announcement for all other people who have some results to write to VIP and to keep on sending in their results, to write us their stories and their evidences?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Following the announcement that Dr. Sunday made on the programs that we were starting on Monday, can you all please, anyone that have results or they've started a project or they're doing something new that it's worth profiling, please can you write to us at vip@godembassy.org. So I repeat, vip@godembassy.org. So send us the information about your project, what you're doing, what your plans are, the progress that you've made. Please send it to us at vip@godembassy.org. Thank you. I will repeat that later on as well for those who will just be joining us. And if you know anyone that have a project or fits this description, can you please remind them to do so as well, please? Thank you. We have Elizabeth is saying that I'm so grateful Mrs. Sharonka called me that day. So I think she was saying that it's her. T says, Pastor Sunday in every page of his book. Hallelujah, praise God. Ewa says, saving many lives, especially the Black community, by explaining the etiology of cardiovascular diseases, what they are, how to avoid and manage them. You are truly God sent. Omonike says, okay, is replying to Elizabeth. Elizabeth saying again, Mrs. Sharon Care, she's a wonderful mom. Carol Wise, I will borrow your mom for a while. Oh. Then we have Epesinola says, life's about results. Result. Wow, Pastor, you are on point. Chidi says, wow, I'm getting more ideas. Flora says, yeah, I agree with the essay. Okay. Somebody's asking, Jumi is asking that what is the name of the library, Mrs. Shoronke?
It's Dagenham Library.
Okay, the library is Dagenham Library. Dagenham Library, and that's in UK?
Yes, in London.
Yeah, in London. Dagenham Library in Essex, I think that is. Essex, London. Okay. Or Essex. Stella, okay, is clapping for you. Well done, Mrs. Sharonke. Blessing, Machi, Sandra. Craig says, question for Mrs. Sharonke. Is it possible to have an audio recording of DSA's book in your library for people on the move?
No, but there are already messages.
Yes.
There is already a message like that. Who am I?
Okay.
You just get the YouTube.
Yes.
On YouTube,
Yes, and for Gregory, instead of having an audio reading of the book, there's already messages like that you can.
That I myself preach.
Yes, that you know is on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. So go to Sunday Adelaja Official. You would have a playlist, another playlist of Dr. Sunday's broadcast, the 31 playlist titles, which are series.
One of them called
Yes.
purpose. Or maybe she wants to talk about people reviewing the book. I think somebody started doing that.
Yes, we have the
UMI.
Chinedu did
Review of.
yes, there's somebody doing the review of Who Am I.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody's doing the review of Who Am I right now. It's starting, from Kiev. Is it someone from Kiev? There's another lady that is doing a review of Who Am I. I saw a poster up. So if the person is here, can you please put just write a comment that you're doing a review of Who Am I? Because I saw a poster of.
So they could use all those videos.
Yes. Yetunde says, well done, Mrs. Shorunke. Rosalind said, well done, Mrs. Shorunke. The video said the content. I think this is just saying that the content is what is important on the book. Kate, well done, Mrs. Shorunke. The video says, again, every idea gives birth to many others. Paul says, I'm so ashamed that I don't have national influence and tangible projects after hearing Pastor Sunday for months now. That's from Paul.
What was that?
Paul Awodele.
Okay.
Yes, but Pastor Sunday also said that he's going to, sometimes it takes
Different people, different space.
Yes, it takes different people, different space, different time. But when you start, you have started. So keep on being steadfast in listening, and it will come to you. Elizabeth says, Mrs. Shorunke and Queen Anastasia taught me how to read thoroughly, and because of that, I don't read anyhow. I think both of them can write books on how to read thoroughly.
Ooh.
And Anastasia.
Okay.
Davida says, thanks for empowering us. Davida is asking that, is the book about poverty released?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is released, and it's
on Amazon.
And it's available on Amazon. So that's for you, Davida, or anyone else who wants to know. In fact, all the books that I showcased this evening, they're all been released and available on Amazon. Pastor Nikki says, I have seen books with typos and grammatical errors that are New York Times bestsellers. The content is more important. Each of the essays book is a university of life. Yes, Davida, again, is asking, yes, they're all released. We have here, Amachi says, I am ready. I am already working on the series. I am pretty excited about what the end result will be.
Who said that?
Amachi Jerry said,
What is she doing?
I am already working on the series.
What series?
Yes, Amachi, can you respond? What series are you working on, please? Nike says, who is Uncle Sam? Question mark.
There's a book.
There's a book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam.
Yeah, we showed it already.
Okay. I can't show you. This book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam. If you read the book, you would understand who Uncle Sam is. Okay? This is the book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam.
It's on Amazon.
And it's also available on Amazon.
Okada.
And Okada Books if you're in Africa. Elizabeth says, reason and think products. Jane said, I need to think products and result. Jumi says, life is too busy in London. Yes, I know that. Monica, thank you, Monica, thank you.
No, life is not too busy. You did not. Life is not too busy in London for people who have set themselves free. You just need to learn to set yourself free and become the owner of your life and become the Lord of your life. Don't be under the influence, under the dominion of London. Put London under your dominion. Come on top. And that's why we're on this DSA family platform, so that we are the ones who are subduing London, who are subduing the trivialities of London, and we are not allowing the trivialities of London to subdue us. And that's why you are listening to Pastor Sunday. And that's why that book, Stop Working for Uncle Sam, will help you and set you free.
Wow. Following that, exactly what somebody have just said says, a person, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. He says, chapter 1 of Stop Working for Uncle Sam has changed my mentality completely.
Yep.
Thank you. And somebody is responding to, Monica is responding to Nick saying, if you're doing 9-to-5 job for someone or government, that means you're working for Uncle Sam. Yes, thank you, Monica. That's really nice of you. But get the book, Nick, because that will really help you to have better understanding. Paul says, thank you, Pastor Sunday, for talking about examples of projects in your book. I don't have any of your books. Have just been listening to live broadcasts and YouTube. We'll start buying the books in this month. Opesonla said, Mr. Paul, please get DSA book and see the true spirit of God. Chioma, to order Pastor's book, there's Chioma's contact there. If you're in Nigeria and you want to order Pastor's book, Chioma has put her number on there and a WhatsApp number, so you can also add that onto WhatsApp. And then we have Pastor Nikki. When DSS first asked me, who am I? My answer was, I am Nkiru Ojimade, full stop. And she laughed. Okay. Esther was laughing about Pastor Nkiru's comment. Sis Kath says, you become alive with this book. Anne says, Lord, Queen Nkiru, I know, right? It was that simple for me. Answer the question, who are you, until I met the essay. Esther says, that book is powerful, especially with the self-examination test and at the end of each chapter. Sister Kat says, I was attracted by your smile and joy. Okay, thank you, Sister Kat. I don't know who's. Oh, thank you very much, lovely testament. Thank you. Okay, my YouTube name is Mayowa. Just check it out. It's Mayowa. And my Facebook as well is also just Mayowa, the page. And obviously, you know my Facebook name is Mayowa Laya. Thank you for asking, Mercy. Appreciate that. Elizabeth says, the book should be the first book we all should digest. That's from Elizabeth. I agree, Elizabeth. Very good. Thank you, Omonike. Thank you so much. Okay. Thanks to DSA, I started my blog. I was hesitant to start. That's Amachi. They're saying that. Elizabeth, the book breaks all walls for you to understand yourself and your purpose. I believe the book we're talking about here is Who Am I? Why Am I Here? Afolabi said, that's the spirit of self-confidence. Omonike says, thank God for your life, Queen Maya. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sister Kathy says, it's encouraging me to start Facebook Live. Go ahead, please do. Kate says, Maya, your testimony is awesome. Thank you very much. The book Who Am I drew me to the platform.
All the other comments, so that she could also get it. Okay. Yeah, keep on. You have more comments today.
Okay. Thanks so much. Thank you very much, Omanike. Thank you. Very encouraging. Thank you very much. Okay. Stella says, and they are in churches. I think this topic is about wasted. Yes, and be wasted. Yes, PSA is by listening to you that I too realized my purpose. It's like I have wasted my life before now. Thanks so much, Pastor PSA. That's Omonike. Anastasia said there are 3 significant messages of DSA that got me moving into action when I encountered him last year, August. The first one is joblessness is a blessing. The second one is how to convert invisible energy to tangible products. And the third one is you are not an afterthought. You are not an accident. My life has never been the same again. That's from Anastasia. And then we have posts greeting everyone in the house. Our why must be kingdom focused in all that we do. Wow. That's your quote from Elizabeth. And then we have congratulations to Queen Reformer. That's from Monica. Stella clapping for Reformer. Recreate and reinvent. That's Monica saying that. Paul saying relaunch. Kai. And then we have kingdom results. That's from Akwesirola. And then Pastor Nikki's clapping. Benny Gabe's clapping for Reformer. Davida, well done, Reformer. Stella clapping and dancing for you. Thank you. Adewale saying yes. Chisandra saying wow, awesome with a clap. Dove Lady saying wow. Matthew, wow. Pastor Nikki saying kudos, Reformer, my darling. Paul, great. Oriyomi, wow. Joke Odukoya says well done, Queen Reformer. Deborah Cole says heart clap. We love that chin chin. Wow, wow, wow. We done. Jumai clapping for you. Awesome. Wow, Ernest. Very tasty chin chin. That's Pastor Nikki saying that. For me saying wow. Equisola saying great. Ezinwa, congratulations, Sister Ufoma. Evangelist Austin saying great. And Yomi as well. That's Elizabeth saying that. Chisandra Ifoma, well done. Congratulations. Bishop Richard said, this is the reason I believe in DSA. Prove beyond preaching. A man with a message, that works wherever applied. A man with a message that works wherever applied. Congratulations, Ifoma. That's from Rosalind. Wow, Queen Ifoma. That's Julie. Dove Lady said, congratulations. Well done. There's a lot of congratulations and well done. And then Bishop Richards went on to say, if I sound too loud about DSA, influence and leadership, forgive me. But look at the proof in the lives of the saints. You can't fight evidence. Thanks, DSA. Thank you, Bishop. Emmy, congratulations. Check out Pastor Nikki's book, Founded by Mercy. Pastor Nikki is writing. Innocent said, I am inspired to motivate my friend here in France to venture into the supplying this chin-chin to Grand Carrefours. Thanks, Ufoma, for sharing this wonderful testimony. That's from Innocent. Well done, Innocent. Glory to God. Monica says, yes, this is what the tithe and offering should be for doing God's project.
Also, I would like to say that all of you that have some products after coming online to DSA family, we are inviting you to do a special. We are starting a special program from Monday, every Friday, every 7 o'clock Ukraine time. So if you are living in Ukraine and you are a product of DSA, you have a product like Pastor Nikki Nkiru, so you could come with your husband, you could come with your books, and we'll interview you, present your product, and any other product you have. Like, for example, and Pastor Anu and Victor, they have a product of their program, live program they're doing. We will present you. So we are going to be showing, I don't know what we'll be calling those, that Tuesday, daily broadcast. But I think it's going to be something like practical proofs of the kingdom, I don't know.
Evidence of kingdom living or kingdom lives.
Yeah. So it's going to be, these are going to be a program that's going to be evidence, concrete evidence of, of DSA family products. So concrete products. So for people like who live in Ukraine or who can come over to Ukraine to present, to participate in the program any day, to present their own products, just like we did with Mrs. Shorunke today, and we did with Ufoma today, and yesterday we did with the Shiobas. But if you are not in Ukraine, then just write, make sure you give us a written, you write out your, your stories, your evidences. We have to see the proof and evidence, but we are starting with the contestants. Then, you could write your something, and then we'll call, you will give you telephone, you will call in, so that you'll be able to participate just like we did today. Or we could do video calling or something like that.
Okay. Okay, guys. Omonike says...
But they all need to send us the result,
yes.
Even if they are here, like Caroline, for example. We need to make a list of all the people who are having products.
Okay. So, guys, I've announced this before, but Dr. Sunday also spoke about it just now. So remember to write your evidence, details of the product or the projects that you put together, that you've established, to vip@godembassy.org. All the books you've written, any output from listening in the last year.
Or live broadcast that you are doing.
Or live broadcast, please just send evidence and details of it. You write to us, explain what you've done and how you started, and we will showcase it at the 7 o'clock Ukraine time evening sessions, where we haven't titled it yet, but it will be something around evidence of products from DSA family following. We'll figure it out, but it's going to be at 7 p.m. Ukraine time daily. So please send us those details.
Can you believe it? The gospel of the kingdom producing results.
Yeah. We also
not just I bought a car, but changing their world.
Yeah. Monica says, "Hallelujah! Thank God for PSA."
Now it's not going to be Ukrainians coming.
Yeah.
It will be DSA. But in 1 year, find me a church after 1 year that has results.
Ernest, glory to God. Monica, yes, be the best in whatever you're doing. Daniel's congratulating Queen Ufoma, saying is doing the best chin-chin in town. Yes, sir, this is church. That's Omolabake agreeing with you. Somebody's laughing about Ufoma saying on sabbatical.
From church.
Yeah, it's from church. Nika says, listen to your inspiring message with Joshua, who is very eloquent and made me feel challenged. I was moved to buy your book. Money won't make me rich or make you rich. I want to know more. That's Nika.
Yep.
And then we have a person saying that church is fellowship. And we have yes, not building. Yes, church is fellowship. I think she's agreeing with you that just fellowshipping is church. It is church. It is church, and it is the assembly of the saints by sharing and empowering each other. Yeah. Church equals fellowship. Monica is saying, Chioma is saying, Pastor, this is church already. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name, he is there already. Thank you, Chioma. So true, gaining financial momentum. Very true. Omolabake says a more
someone has started a church after being here on DSA. 1 year, this person started a church in Nigeria, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. So any other person like that, we would like to bring them in and interview them.
Omolabake, more communion and fellowship here. And international fellowship. Gwendolyn saying that. Ufomo Anigoro put her name on there so that others can recognize her. Also, the Facebook link to her Marvelous Girls Club is also included, so everyone can see. Okay. I celebrate you, PSA, for all the teachings you're giving us. That's Omonike. Theophilus is giving thumbs up. Nikki says Lady Former is a lady that has every reason to relax and serve just her family and son, but she's shaking the world. Kudos, sweetheart. Innocent is saying, we are proud of you, Former. Okay. Hallelujah. There's a lot of people celebrating you, Former.
That might be enough for today.
Quite a lot of comments. Okay. I think these are congratulations. From all DSA series on YouTube, I am creating DVD and other ways that will enable easier access and distribution of the messages. That's Amachi that's saying that.
Amachi what?
Amachi Jerry.
Good.
Yes, a couple of things. That she started a blog. I read it. She's doing this as well. And she said she's going to do one more thing. We have Bumi. Well done to... Oh, thank you very much, Bumi. Thank you very much. Ufoma said, awesome. Those testimonies from Ukraine challenged, but thank God DSA family is taking over. Hallelujah. So Ufoma is saying the testimony from Ukraine challenged her. Okay, so that's it. From where I was reading from, unless I go right to the top now.
No, it's okay.
So guys, we're closing. Okay, so we'll be back tomorrow. You know the time tomorrow. This will be our final Saturday summit until we start new series starting on Monday. So tomorrow, Pastor Sunday, I would ask him to speak. He's ready to speak.
Yes, so tomorrow we invite all your friends to... So tomorrow, invite all your friends to Live Summit with DSA. That will be tomorrow, Live Summit with DSA at 2 o'clock Ukraine time and 12 o'clock English time and 1 o'clock European time. So Nigerian time, I think, is 12 o'clock as well, tomorrow in the afternoon. So that's our last Saturday summit that we're going to have. But then on Sunday, we're going to have something in the evening like this as well, 9 o'clock. But from Monday, 9 o'clock Ukraine time, we are starting this series on the prostitution of tithe and offering in the church. And it's going to go like for a month. And then but every day also, before that series at 9 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, we are going to be having this kind of program, calling with, presentation of what people are doing who have been on DSA platform. And it's amazing what God is doing. We want to show forth a new form of Christianity that produces results, Christianity that empowers every member, and Christianity that that changes, that makes everybody to inherit and to occupy their own promised land. Right? Even without even ever seeing them, just by coming online, without ever seeing people, they could be empowered to begin to take over their promised land. Churches are not even doing this with people they are sitting with every day. But here are people you never see. You are empowering them to become who God called them to become. Thank God for Facebook. Thank God for Facebook. Thank God for internet. Thank God for technology. We are going to change the world. Glory to God. Kingdom of God is arrived. Kingdom of God is here. Glory. Blessings. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.